I fucking can't do it, eh? I'm just...
Okay, I'll go out in the other room and I won't listen. I'll take my phone. And I'll come back and check if the camera's still recording.
In 2017, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus. Systemic lupus is an autoimmune disease. It is incurable at this time. Lupus mainly affects females. It's 80% females and 20% males, and when males do get it, it's a lot worse. When you're sick, your body creates white blood cells to kill the infection. In my case, I create white blood cells that attack healthy tissue. Systemic lupus is a hard thing to diagnose. There is like several symptoms and they don't all come at once. You could have one symptom and then a year down the track you could have another symptom, and for them to diagnose it you need to have several symptoms all going at once. With my case, I was a marine painter. I was a foreman at a big company in Auckland. That was my career.
We're applying poisonous shit that's designed to kill the barnacles and all the growth, and I used to spray. So that's like airborne poison. The masks that they give you they're not that good.
In December 2016, I started developing pains in my shoulders, which stopped me from being able to work. I couldn't reach, I couldn't do my job properly, so I left my job and I took 4 weeks off, hoping that it would sort itself out. After the 4 weeks, I started a new job in the painting industry. Within 2 weeks, the pains in my shoulders came back. I continued to work, and in May 2017, I got a really bad flu. That's when I developed pains in my chest when breathing, in my chest and in my lungs. I went to the doctor and they diagnosed me with pleurisy, which is inflammation on the lungs. The pain was, the only way I can describe it is every time you took a breath, it was like someone was stabbing you with a knife, and that was every breath. I was on antibiotics and that didn't help. The pain was so bad that at night time I would go to work and then I'd come home and go straight to bed. I would crawl up and pretty much scream myself to sleep. The pain was just agonising. I would be in bed screaming until I fell asleep. Me being a normal, typical Kiwi guy, I didn't tell anyone. I never told my family. I told them, they knew I wasn't well, but I never told them to what extent. I never told them that I was crying myself to sleep because of the pain. Constant pain never went away. After I developed the pain in my chest, my next symptom was migraines. With my migraines, I would be working and then I would have like bright lights in my eyes and I couldn't see. And then after about 20 minutes, then the migraine hits. That would put me out for about 4 to 6 hours. I'd have to go home. Before I was diagnosed, I was having those about 4 times a week. After I started to get the migraines, I went back to the doctor and they gave me pills to stop the migraine, but I still hadn't had a diagnosis. In October 2017, my best friend was killed in a motorcycle accident. He was my best friend for over 17 years, which completely destroyed me. I was gutted, really gutted. After he passed away, less than a week, because the stress and all the grief, it accelerated my symptoms. Within a week, I could no longer walk. I developed pain in my knees, both ankles, lupus in every joint in my hands. It got to a point where, and my 9-year-old son was helping me get dressed, you know, in and out of bed, in the shower. In the mornings, it used to take me, I'd have a coffee, have some breakfast. Within 5 minutes, I could just chuck some clothes on and then go to work. After my friend passed away, so it was taking me about 40 minutes just to get dressed. I was going to work with straps on my hands, both ankles. After about a week of that, I realised that this isn't normal. But eventually my mum figured out what was going on. We called my doctors and she sort of said, could it be an autoimmune disease? And then he set up a specialist appointment for me. Once I went to the specialist, she asked me to do some blood tests, and which showed that my inflammation levels were through the roof. She diagnosed me with systemic lupus pretty much straight away. I did admit myself into the hospital so that they could carry out scans on my heart and test my heart, because once you get diagnosed with systemic lupus, in my case, which it was severe, the only thing you can do is you have to go on the attack and then attack it back. The only way to do that is to take like really strong medication. I was on 40 milligrams of steroids a day. That once a week. 6 of these a day. And that once a week. And that for the pain. Once I had the medication, within a couple of weeks I was able to walk. Systemic lupus is something that I'm going to have forever. It's more of a mental thing. You have to fight it mentally as well as with drugs. One day you're like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good. And then the next day you wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a bus. And that will go on for a couple of days, and then you'll feel good again, and then it'll come back. It's a constant battle. It's just one of those things that you just have to keep fighting with it mentally, and eventually I'll learn to live with it.